Welcome to game number 17 of the Tom Seaver replay, where today they will be traveling to Montreal, Canada to face the Montreal Expos in game 17 of the Tom Seaver replay. This game was held on July 4th of 1973, and the actual score was the Expos 7 and the New York Mets 5. Today for the Expos we have Baylor Moore pitching. Take a quick look at his stats. He was 7-16 in 1973 with a 4.5 ERA with 32 starts. Seaver's had a bad couple outings lately, so hopefully he'll rebound here. And as you can see, he's 8-6 at the moment. Innings pitched are quite around the same through 16 games. Hits close, earned runs a little high, walks right around the same, Ks close, and home runs close. ERA is a little high, but as I said, he's had a bad couple outings, so hopefully that improves. Let's look at the first batter for the Mets. Will be left-handed Wayne Garrett. And Baylor Moore also throws left-handed, too. We got a 6-8 versus a lefty. Struck him out. Next batter is Felix Millan. 3-8 versus a lefty. That is a fly out to center. Willie Mays today batting in the third spot. 3-10 versus a lefty. That's a ground out to the pitcher. So 1-2-3 inning for Baylor Moore. And Ron Hunt will be leading off for the Montreal Expos today against Seaver. So we got two righties going here. 3-5 versus a righty ground out to shortstop. Mike Jorgensen, the lefty first baseman. 2-4 versus a righty. Single 1-11. That's an 11. That's a single for Jorgensen. Next batter will be left-handed batter, left fielder, John Fairley. Nothing on the Havoc. 3-2 versus a righty. That's a ground ball, second base A. That's a double play. So Seaver gets out of that rather quickly. We move on to the second, where Baylor Moore will be up against Rusty Staub, George Theodore, and John Milner. So lefty, righty, lefty. 2-9 versus a lefty. That's a ground out to the pitcher. Or, excuse me, ground out to the first baseman. George Theodore. 2-5 versus a lefty, ground out to second base. And John Milner will be up with 2 outs here. 5-8 versus a lefty-lefty, walks. Duffy Dyer will be the next batter. Nothing on the Havoc. 5-3 versus a righty. That's a fly ball left field X. The left fielder is Ron Fairley. He's a 4-8. He gets there. And a 12 on an E8. He makes the play. So Baylor Moore gets out of the second with no damage. We move on to the bottom of the second, where Seaver will face Singleton, Bootsday, and Bob Bailey. Move this up a little bit. 2-4 versus a righty. Look at that. Home run 1-19. 20. Gets out of that, Seaver. That's a double by Kenny Singleton, right in his wheelhouse, but he rolls a 20 instead of a 1-19 for the home run. Nothing on the Havoc. Boots Day, the center fielder, will be up. 3-3 versus a righty. That's a fly ball, right field B. We will see if Singleton will advance. The right fielder has an arm of -4. And so we had a +2. Singleton's running is a 1-14. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So we got a 1-14. So we added 2, 16, minus the arms of 12. So 1-12 he advances. 4. So Singleton advances to third. Bob Bailey. We will have the infield, get the infield in. Nothing on the Havoc. 1-7. Struck him out. Key strikeout by Seaver. Tim Foley. 2. Okay, so we got a potential pass ball or balk. Got to roll the 3. So we have a potential balk, but Seaver's a 0 on the balk, so nothing there. 3-5 versus a righty, ground out to second. So Seaver gets out of it with a double off the top of the wall by Singleton. We are through 2, no score. Ted Martinez will be leading off for the Mets. Followed by Seaver, and then the top of the order, Wayne Garrett. Let's see what we can do here. So Martinez will be up against the left-hander, Baylor Moore. 1-5 versus a lefty. That's a clean double right to left field for Ted Martinez. Seaver will be the batter. See if he can move him over. Nothing on the Havoc. 3-10, ground ball, shortstop A. So he stays right there at second. Top of the order, Wayne Garrett with a runner on second. 13, nothing there. 5-7, lefty-lefty. Struck him out. Key strikeout by Baylor Moore. Felix Mian. 2. Okay, so we got a Havoc roll of a 2. 3. Let's see what the balk chance is. 1-6, we got a balk. No balk. Move ahead with Felix Mian. 6-10 versus a righty. Struck him out. So Baylor Moore gets out of it with the leadoff double by Ted Martinez. He gets out of it. So Seaver will be going to the bottom of the third, facing Bocabella, Baylor Moore. Let's see what we got here. And then the top of the order, Ron Hunt. .35 versus a righty. Struck him out. Baylor Moore will now be the batter. We got a 5-7. He bats lefty. Struck him out. Back to the top of the order with Ron Hunt. .15 versus a righty. That's a single to center for Ron Hunt. Mike Jorgensen 1 possible wild pitch. 1 to 3 is a wild pitch. 12 no wild pitch. So Jorgensen continues his at bat. 5-7 versus a lefty. Struck him out. So Seaver gets all 3 outs by strikeout. We move to the top of the 4th. Where we'll have Willie Mays, Rusty Staub, and George Theodore up against the lefty, Baylor Moore. .110 versus a lefty, ground out to third. Rusty Staub. 6-7 versus a lefty, ground ball second base X. That will be to Ron Hunt. He's a 4 East 16. He gets there. An 8 on a 16 for second base. He makes the play. George Theodore. .46 versus a righty. That's a walk. John Milner. 1 potential wild pitch. 1 to 7. 6 so wild pitch. Theodore advances into scoring position. Have to run the havoc roll again. Nothing on that. So we have a runner on second. 2 outs with Milner. 1-6 versus a lefty. Struck him out. So Seaver gets to the bottom of the 4th. He will be facing Fairley, Singleton, and Boots Day. .32 versus a righty. That's a ground out to the second baseman. Kenny Singleton would be the batter. Switch hitting Kenny Singleton, who almost homered there in the second inning, but it was a 1 to 19 chance on a home run. Ended up getting a double. So 5-6, he'll be batting lefty. Struck him out. Seaver having a strong outing here in Montreal. 4-6 versus a lefty. That's a double. 1 to 4. 3. That's a double for Boots Day. So we have a runner on second. 2 outs for Bob Bailey. No score. 2 potential balk or pass ball. 5 the pass ball. We check the pass ball rating of the catcher, Duffy Dyer. He is a pass ball of a 3. So no pass ball for that. We continue with Bailey's at bat. 110 versus a righty, ground out to second. So nothing for either team as we head to the 5th. We have Dyer, Martinez, and Seaver for the New York Mets against lefty Baylor Moore. We got a 6-6 versus a righty. Ground out to shortstop. Ted Martinez, who doubled his last at-bat. 1-6 versus a lefty. It's a fly out to center. And Tom Seaver. 1-7 struck him out. So Mets will have the top of the order in the 6th. Seaver will be up against Foley, Bacabella, and Baylor Moore. One 6 versus a righty. That's a ground out to short. Bocabella. Four 9. That is a righty versus a righty. Struck him out. Baylor Moore, who struck out his last time at bat. 1-4, strikes out again. So we are through 5 with no score. Seaver has, just curious, 1, 4, 5, 7 strikeouts through 5. The top of the order for both teams here in the 6th inning. Moving along quick as we had 0-0 score. Garrett, Neon, and Mays for the Mets. 1-5 versus a lefty. That struck him out. That's a 3rd strikeout today for Wayne Garrett. 3-5 versus a lefty. That's a single by Neon. Willie Mays will be the batter. Doesn't look like he's going to bunt or hit and run. Nothing on the Havoc. 4-4 versus a righty. Ground ball, third base, X. The third baseman is Bob Bailey. He's a 4E20. 13 is a G3. 13. No error. So a G3 with a runner on first. That is runner advances. Okay, so it's a 5-3. Runner advances to second. So we have runner on second, 2 outs for Rusty Staub. Nothing on the Havoc. 3-7 versus a lefty. Fly out to center field. Staub couldn't get him in. We move on to the bottom of the 6th, where we will have the top of the order up against Seaver. Pitching a very solid game, but as we know, Baylor Moore is as well, too. Five 6 versus a righty. Struck him out. Mike Jorgensen, the lefty. 5-9, struck him out. Seaver. 3-7 versus a righty. That's a single to center field for Ron Fairley. So we got 2 outs, runner on first for Kenny Singleton. Nothing on the Havoc. It's a key at bat right here. 5-6, he'll be batting lefty. Struck him out, Seaver. So Seaver records his 10th strikeout today in the 6th inning. We move on to the 7th, where we have Theodore Milner and Duffy Dyer. Up against the lefty, Baylor Moore. We got a 3-7 versus a lefty. That's a ground out to second base. Johnny Milner, lefty on lefty, 5-10. Ooh, just missed a diamond chance. We got a catcher X chance. 12 on a 3. That is a PF. And 11, 12 on a 6. Pop out to the catcher. So Milner can't do anything there. Duffy Dyer's the batter with 2 outs, nobody on. 4-11 versus a righty. That's a single chance at Montreal, which for righties is 1-10. 4. So single for Duffy Dyer. Ted Martinez is the batter. Nothing on the Havoc. Martinez has had a nice double in the 3rd. 6-11 versus a righty, struck him out. So Baylor Moore and Seaver going out of here. Okay. We are on to the bottom of the 7th. Seaver has 10 strikeouts. He'll be facing Boots Day, Bob Bailey, and Tim Foley. Let's see what he can do here in the bottom of the 7th. 6-4 versus a lefty, fly ball center field X. Willie Mays, 18 he gets there, 14 on a 4. He makes the play on Boots Day. So Bob Bailey will be the next batter. He has struck out and ground out to second. 6-5 on a righty. Ground out to shortstop. Tim Foley. 4-5 versus a righty. He's a normal power, which he is, and it'd be a home run 1, but fly out to left field on a 17. So Seaver goes 1, 2, 3. He will bat in the 8th. Okay, so Seaver will bat here in the 8th. He's pitching too good, and I'm enjoying it. So hopefully he can do something here. 6-4 versus a righty. Ground ball shortstop X. We are looking at Foley. He's a 2E38. Well, look at that. Seaver gets a single. 17 on a 38. Wow, single for Seaver. Look at that. On a failed range play by Tim Foley. So now we got Wayne Garrett. Do we hit away with him or we bunt? No, we got to bunt. Corners in, so that reduces him from an A bunter, which we see here, to a B. He's got a bunt though. 8, he sacrifices, so he gets Seaver over. We got a runner on second. 1 out for Felix Mian. No, just barely missed the Walker wild pitch. See if Baylor Moore can keep it together here. 5-8 versus a righty. Walk. All right, so we got runner on first and second. Willie Mays is the batter. Let's see what the bullpen looks like. The Expos bring in our old friend from our 1968 Bob Gibson replay, Pat Jarvis, who pitched for the Atlanta Braves. Baylor Moore pitches great. Crowd gives him a hand. He pitches 7 1/3. Pat Jarvis is the relief pitcher. He will go up against Mays and potentially Staub. 13-0 in the Havoc. Let's see if Mays can make something of it here. 4-8 versus a righty. Walk. We got the bases loaded. Pat Jarvis versus Rusty Staub, the old Expo. Let's see what we can do here. Looks like I think we're at Jerry Park. So if some of you want something real interesting, look at the YouTube video from the 1969 Montreal Expo home opener at Jerry Park. Looks like a high school baseball field, but it's real interesting to watch. So here we are at Jerry Park. Bases loaded. Rusty Staub, the old Expo. 4-0 on the Havoc. Let's see what Jarvis can do here. 6-7 versus a lefty. Single, 2 stars. Seaver comes in. Meon comes in. Mays goes to third. Wow. All right. Jarvis can't do much here. Let's see if he can get out of here. We got the infield in. 2. So we got a balk or pass ball chance. 3 is a 0 on a balk, so nothing there. See if we can get at least Theodore out. 4-6 versus a righty. Ground ball, third base B. Infield in, first and third. Okay, infield in, ground ball, third base B, 7. That is, the result on that is batter safe, lead runner out, other runners advance 1 base. Yeah, so they get the fielder's choice. And then Staub moves to second. So we got runners, we got 2 outs. Runner on first and second for Johnny Milner. .410 versus a lefty. Fly out to right field. Just misses the activity over here in the. So Jarvis. No earned runs, but doesn't do any favors for Baylor Moore as the Mets get 2 here in the top of the 8th. Okay, so the Expos have Bocapella, the pitcher's spot, so it'll bring up a pinch hitter, and then Ron Hunt. See what they can do here. We have a 2-0 score, bottom of the 8th. 2-11, ballpark single chance for a righty in Jerry Park. It is 1-10, 18, so he lines out to the shortstop. We need a pinch hitter here for the Expos. Expos will bring in switch hitting Bob Stinson. See if he can do anything up against Seaver. 5-7 versus a switch hitter, so he'll be batting lefty. Struck him out. Seaver gets his 11th strikeout here. We are at the top of the order versus Ron Hunt. 6-6 versus a righty. Struck him out. Look at Seaver here. We move on to the top of the 9th. The Expos will bring in a new pitcher. They will bring in their closer, Mike Marshall, just to see if he could do anything to prevent any further runs and maybe get the Seaver in the bottom of the ninth. But Dyer, Martinez, and Seaver. Seaver's pitching so good, we're going to leave him in there. Duffy Dyer. 3-5 versus a righty. Struck him out. So Marshall strikes out his first batter. Ted Martinez. 1-3 versus a righty. He's a walk. Seaver, as I said, staying in the game. Preserve that 2-0 lead. 2, so a potential balk, pass ball. 4, we'll check the pass ball rating of the catcher, Bocapella. His pass ball rating is a 3, so 1-3, it's a pass ball. It's a 14, so no pass ball. We move on with the Seaver at bat. 4-7, he's a righty, struck him out. Wayne Garrett will be the batter. He struck out 3 times today and sacrificed over Seaver to get that rally moving along here. Nothing on the Havoc. See if Garrett can do anything here. 2-10. 1-1. Otherwise, it's fly out to left. Fly out to left. So nothing on the 9th for the Mets. Now we will move to the bottom of the 9th. Seaver pitching brilliantly here at Jerry Stadium. He'll face Jorgensen, Fairley, and Singleton, the meat of the Expo lineup. Right now, as we know, Seaver is throwing a 4-hitter with 12 strikeouts. A 4-hitter with 12 strikeouts. We're going into the bottom of the 9th against Jorgensen, Fairley, and Singleton. 4-9 versus a lefty. Walks Jorgensen. Remember, it's only 2-0 lead here. So they're not holding on to a lot here. 6-0 on the Havoc roll. Ron Fairley, 1-11 versus a righty. That's a ground ball, first base C. So with that, the runner moves over. Let me just double check that. Batter out, yeah. So we get the batter out. Jorgensen moves to second. Singleton's the batter with a runner on second. 1 out. Nothing on the Havoc. Singleton almost homers his first at bat. We got a 2-6 versus a righty. A single to left field. Let's see if Jorgensen can score. Jorgensen is he's a 1-15 running. The left fielder's arm is a 2, so 1-17. Jorgensen wasn't held. Let's make sure he's not an asterisk. Yeah, well, he is an asterisk, but at second he wouldn't have been held. Yeah, so it's a 1-17, and Jorgensen scores 5. So Singleton drives in Jorgensen. We got a runner on first. Boots Day, a left-hander. Tug McGraw warming up in the bullpen. 2-8. Oh, Jesus. Homer, 1-4. Fly out to left field, 5-20 for Boots Day. He'll end the game with a home run. Oh, Jesus. A home run for Boots Day. 1-4, 3, Singleton on first, 3-2, game ender. What a heartbreaker. What a heartbreaker. Boots Day. 3-2. Jerry Park fans are going crazy here. Bottom of the ninth. 2-run homer. Jeez. Seaver, dejected. He moved to 8-7 in this 1973 Tom Seaver replay. Jeez. All right. Thanks for joining.